Analysis now for Mustafa Jana, Assistant Professor of Iranian Studies at Sakarya University's Middle East Institute. It's a Sunday. You've given up your time to speak to us, Mustafa. I really appreciate it. Give us your assessment of where we are and where you think we're going.
Thank you, Adnan, for having me. I think since the MOU didn't have a detailed, specifically detailed articles, that has been a subject of different interpretation by these two actors, especially the clause of the Strait of Hormuz issue. Iran interpreted that article as it, has the full control over the Strait of Hormuz, but the United States interpreted it differently. And after that, since Iran attacked some commercial vessels which were passing through the Strait of Hormuz, then the United States retaliated, and we are back to the full-fledged war again right now. And it seems that the United States has expanded its set of targets, including many additional targets, but those are especially concentrated over the southern part of Iran, especially around the Strait of Hormuz area, with the aim of degrading Iran's military capabilities to shut down the Strait of Hormuz. And also Iran's response has been so far proportionate and measured. Yes, it is tit for tat, but Iran is not really, willing to escalate further. So Iran is really reluctant to take it to a step further, and now just, reacting to U.S. strikes. But since U.S. has lost two of its, soldiers, and according to Donald Trump's harsh statements against Iran, we might expect a harsh, very, a strong reaction from the United States in the next couple of days. And Iran's response, potential responses to that attacks will actually determine the fate of the war.
I don't have the MOU in front of me, Mustafa, but I studied it very carefully over the past few days. And if my memory is correct, I'm not that old, about the Strait of Hormuz, it says Iran can negotiate with Oman about the future management of the Strait of Hormuz. Maybe that's where the confusion lies, because the Iranians are trying to negotiate some kind of future management of the waterway. What about these Iranian retaliations? Yeah. Saudi Arabia and Qatar have hardly been targeted in the past 8 days. Jordan, Bahrain, and Kuwait seem to be kind of soft targets.
It may be the result of, silent negotiations between Iran and, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and UAE, and maybe Kuwait and, other areas that have been targeted were not there in those negotiations. I mean, they were excluded or they didn't join. But your point is very clear and right. Iran this time didn't attack Qatar, Saudi Arabia, or UAE as it attacked during this, early phases of this war. But now it strongly attacked Kuwait, even, targeted desalination facilities and energy infrastructure, oil facilities, and these facilities are regarded as civilian infrastructure. And I think Iran wants to show that it has the capacity to go even, beyond those targets, and it could even target more and more to those civilian infrastructure. And by doing that, actually, Iran's aim is to instill pain on the United States allies across the Gulf, and it wants to show that it could withstand the war, even the war has become a prolonged one, and by inflicting costs on U.S. allies, Iran wants to, drag the United States back to the negotiation table under its aspired, conditions, maybe in a weaker position. But I don't think the picture tells us as such, because the United States is still able to deploy additional military power to the region. As your reporter Craig pointed out, many different military assets are going to the region, coming to the region right now, refueling tankers, jet fighters, etc. So I don't believe that Iran's strategy will work this time, because it has no new features. Iran didn't introduce a brand new strategy. It is using the same strategy it had used in the initial phases of this war, but it seems that it doesn't work this time.
Yeah, many people are saying the US is doing the same, Mustafa, because it seems to believe that it can bomb Iran into submission. We have actually run out of time, but I know that you're a regular analyst with us. Look forward to the next time, Mustafa. Take care.